Hi, this is Dilip. I am from 3rd year CSC department. My register number is UR16CS094. Today we are going to deal with the lab exercise 8 in web technology lab. It is based on PHP and super global variables. As we know that PHP helps us to create dynamic web content, and PHP is also known as server-side scripting. Today we need to design a multi-page shopping cart in PHP using super global variables such as session, post or get. Use PHP session to store page-wise form field values and validate from field values on each page using HTML form elements. At the end, collect values from all the pages and display the summary page. As we all know that the basic difference between the get method and post method is that in a get method, whatever the values which give passwords, names, everything will be in the URL, can be shown in the URL, whereas under the post method all the things will be hidden. This is the basic difference between the get and post super global methods. So we basically use post method so that to get to have a hiding nature or to under security circumstances. Before sending information to server, it converts, as we know that as I have previously mentioned, before sending information to server, the post method converts the information into a query string. In your query string generated by post method never appears in address bar. It is hidden for the user. Therefore we can use this method for sending sensitive information, as I mentioned. Now let's get into the code. I have done everything in the NetBeans. In NetBeans we can create a project using file or create a new project. When we right click on that, we will be getting this, and when we select PHP and give next, and we can have that page. And let's get into the code now. Under the HTML tag we have some other tags. Child tag as head, and this is the heading title of my web page, online cart. Under the, as we know that styles are mainly of three types: inline style, internal styling and external styling. Here we have used inline, internal combined. Here we have a style tag and for the whole body the background color is this thing. And field set, the field set, as we know that helps us to have a table type structure. Under that we have form. As we know that HTML form is one of that, which has radio buttons, checkboxes and various other things, buttons. Action helps us to say which the content of all this web page goes into which web page. Here we are going to take the content into next.php. Similarly, the method post, as I have previously mentioned all those things, that how does the post help us. Created a table. Under that we have some table row, which helps us to create a table row and table data. Under that we have image source and some width and height for that. And we have, as you know that spanning is like inline styling, and we have column span 2 that helps us to combine two columns. Under style, this is inline styling. We have padding, 100 pixel and font size and some styling tags. Under whereas other table row we have some other images, some set of images. And as we know that input type is equal to radio button, which helps us to select only one at a time. And name, and in PHP it is compulsory that each tag should have a name so that it is easy to access. And we have some value for that, and one more table row, and in which the table data is category. And we got some input type as radio and some name for the radio button, and we have some value for that. Similarly, we have option. As we know that drop down list is basically created in this manner. Select name is quantity, drop down list, option value 1 2 3 4 5, and we have some values, some more values, and all these things helps us to create a drop down list. And in the center we have a button called next, which helps us to take us into the next page. And form is closed, as well as the field set, body and HTML tag. In PHP we have created a session. As we know that post and get methods helps us to take the content into the next page alone, whereas the session helps us to use the content in various other pages also, whereas the get and post method the data can be used in the next most page alone. In order to use the session in every page, we need to include this line session underscore start as a function should be included, and the delimiter for PHP is less than symbol, question mark PHP, and question mark ending with question mark and greater than symbol. Under we have some div tag with some style and with some styling for that, and under center we have color as green yellow and some content order summary. And for this tag, this is the styling. Under this div tag we have some content and as order summary, and we have some, as we know that B is for bold, and we have some name for that. Echo is a statement to print something in PHP. Similarly, we can use print also. If it is in double quotes, it helps us to get the value from the value, whereas in the single quote it will print as it is. And the concatenation operator in PHP is dot operator, as you can see over here, and the dollar helps us to access the variable inside the PHP, and dollar underscore post is to get the first name from the index.php page. Similarly, to get the last name, this is string which will combine both things, first name and last name, it will combine will concat using concatenation operator. Similarly, to get the address we have underscore post which is stored into address, and similarly to get the last and city, state, whatever it is, remaining things using dollar underscore post we are getting. And similarly, we have created a table with border as solid, and we have some content in it like item description, category, quantity, and amount. And as we need to use the data in various other pages, we have created a session. Fs is the name of the session, and it is copied into some variable as $f. Similarly, we have got one more session as shoe, name of the session is shoe, and similarly another session quantity and fs. As we know that double equal to operator helps us to check whether the value is equal, whereas the triple equal to operator helps to check even the data type and also value, whether the value is also equal. And we are here multiplying a variable and storing with 1000. We are multiplying a value into 1000 and storing into one more variable $s. And else if it is children 1500, then we are going to multiply it with some value. Similarly, we have one more else if statement, and if statement in PHP is simply created like this, as you can see over here. As I have previously mentioned about double quotes and single quotes, we have created a table log. As we previously mentioned, span helps us for inline styling, and to get the bill underscore post is the method, and the name of that whatever tag bill, and we have some content for that. And next, let's go into the next page, next.php. Similarly, as I previously mentioned, underscore start should be included in each and every page so that we can use the session. And we have some background color for the body, and in order to display all the summary, as we have here, action is new.php in order to take into all the content from this page to new.php page, and method post, we have some background color, and we have created a input type as radio and gave a name as bill, and value is overnight 200. Similarly, we have created some other things. Under the div tag, we have inline styling as background color is yellow, whereas height is 45 pixel, font size and padding top. And we all these things, when you run the code, you will be able to understand. And this is a button which is created as continue, and this helps us to get the values under post and store it into session. When I run the code, basically PHP code is run using FileZilla FTP client. When we open this, we need to enter the host name. For me, the host name is, server name is webtech.college.edu, and username is my register number along with my password. As we need to include the port 21, since FTP port number is 21, as if we know that FTP is file transfer protocol, and we need to quickly connect this. And under the public HTML, we need to create one directory, and we need to give some name for that. We need to include all our pages. We can copy like this, and we need to drag and drop over here, so that all the whatever required files will be added up into this page. And we can run using the server name. Like my server name is webtech.current.edu, as you can see over here, and we need to use this tilde symbol along with my username and whatever the directory name. And since my first page is index.php, we need to include that, or else if we give enter over here also it works. As you can see, I have some images. We can select using one radio button. As we know that radio button helps us to select only one value at a time. Even we can use the other option also if you want to use multiple at a time. And I will select any one other under category, and quantity I would like to include 3. Size is also included, and with some colors. This is the drop down list. All these 3 were drop down list, and this is a button which helps us to go into the next page. As you can see, we have shipping, and we can have whatever we need to select, whether it is standard or 2-day delivery, or with some rates for that. And we need to include some first name, last name, your street address, and the line address to city, state, whatever it is, zip code, and some phone number, along with some email address, and some coupon address is a drop down list over here. Since we have only one, we can select one, or we can include the various other values and proceed, continue. As you can see, we got summary, the name is some random DSFS, and address and zip code and phone number, along with the table contents, item description, category, quantity, and amount. As you can see that I have previously mentioned, column span helps us to combine 2 columns at a time or 3 columns at a time. It's like styling. Thanks for watching my video.